Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. This is going to be a reaction video to the Sixers versus the Knicks. Great game at MSG, the historic stadium, on Christmas Day. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. I hope you all had a great and fantastic and safe holiday. Well, yesterday Joel Embiid had a great game. He had 16 rebounds, 3 blocks, and 25 points. TJ McConnell did well on the defensive end. He always does well off the bench. He's a guy, if you didn't see, he got, obviously, which is a lot of honors, a joke, but like they say in Chicago, also it was a lot of honor that he got the White Iverson jersey from the team, and he really appreciated that. Also, not Sixers related, but if you saw, that was big in the news that a lot of people making a big deal out of, for the better or the worse, depending what side you look at it on radio and such, is Lonzo got his father and mother a Rolls Royce. So that's enough for the gossip. Redick had a good game. He was 4 for 8 from 3 at 24 points and 6 boards. And then Saric didn't do too good yesterday. Covington didn't do too good yesterday either. Simmons had 8 boards and 8 points and 3 assists. So he, realistically, Embiid and then McConnell off the bench had a phenomenal game with 15 points. And he scored that one stretch run we had that we went ahead by a lot. McConnell had most of our points. So he really stepped up off the bench and performed phenomenal yesterday against the Knicks on a big stage on Christmas Day. And it seems like TJ always tends to do that. On the biggest stages, he performs his best, which is a great player to have on your team. Bayless did so-so again. And then the thing that is annoying most Sixers fans, as it annoys me, is Richaun Holmes, again, was a did-not-play coach's decision. Whereas we played Amir Johnson 14 minutes, and he did practically nothing. He had 4 points and an assist. So a lot of fans are getting on Brett Brown on the Sixers fan groups page, the Reddit, the Sports Talk app, that they need to play, which I agree, Richaun Holmes more, because Richaun Holmes is going to be, if you want to have a good backup center that's young for years to come, that mixes in with Embiid, that's going to be Richaun Holmes, because Amir Johnson's almost 31, plus he's playing terrible this year. So there's more than one reason to not play him as much. And that's the one thing our coaching staff doesn't do a very good job at. Most people say it's not one thing, but that's one main thing they don't do a good job at, which is figuring out guys' minutes when they should be in more or shouldn't be in more. And that's the problem with the Sixers coaching staff. They keep guys in that shouldn't be in as much as they are in, and then they keep guys that should be in more on the bench. So it's starting to get annoying, and hopefully they figure that out soon. Hopefully Amir Johnson, likely, like some guys are also saying on the group, are saying maybe we sign him to be able to move him at some point. But if you move him, you're not going to get anything good because he's not having a good season. You get something half decent. You might get like a bench player or something like that. I mean, with the season he's having, you might not even get a second-round pick because he hasn't shown a whole lot this season to warrant a second-round pick, which is probably something you wanted to try to get for Amir Johnson. But you're probably just going to end up getting a bench player if you end up moving him because he's playing very poor. This is really one of the worst statistical seasons of his career with the Sixers. And then Redick, again, had the bounce-back game yesterday where he's been off and on and admitted, I haven't been shooting the 3 good enough of late. And then he went 50% from the 3 yesterday, so he had a bounce-back game. Obviously, if they get him going again from the 3 and not just those dip-in 2s, that'll get the Sixers back to where they were before they had this bad streak and get their winning ways going again. And as Jalen Rose and many others said in the pregame, the Sixers are a team people want to see in the playoffs. Because people, not just from Philadelphia, because they're not from everybody, if you listen to people on TV, want to see an Embiid and Simmons, and then if Fultz is healthy, Fultz in the playoff, and see how all those guys do in big-time moments, prime time. Obviously, we know Embiid does well in it. Simmons was shaky yesterday, and then McConnell was fantastic off the bench, but he always seems to do good in big games. He's made game-winning shots for us in the past, and game-winning plays for us many times in the past. But the good thing with Ben Simmons is games he doesn't get enough on the score sheet, he gets enough boards. And then he only got 3 assists yesterday, but he got 8 rebounds, which is helpful from a guard. And obviously, he needs to play better than he did yesterday, and he acknowledged that as well. But when you have a guy like Embiid stepping up and McConnell going off the bench, and then Bayless had 8 off the bench, but was poor shooting to have 8 off the bench, and Redick had 24. So when you have those 3 going off, you can afford Simmons having a shakish game every once in a while. But Ben Simmons admits he has to get back to how he was in October and November, and not like he's playing in December where he's been up and down in terms of point total and has just mainly been getting boards and a few assists. So he will get back to that. I mean, it's all an adjustment. When you're a rookie, the league adjusts to you, and then you have to adjust back. So that's the biggest test of your career. Not the biggest test, but the first biggest test of your career is making an adjustment when you're young to when the league starts adjusting to you. So the Sixers should be going back to their winning ways. They play a late game on Thursday at 10:30 in Portland, and we'll see what happens there. Hopefully they come out strong against the Trailblazers and have a very good game there, and they make it 2 in a row and start getting a streak going the other way. That game is on TNT on Thursday, and that is another, for them, primetime game in the West on national television. And then, so that's another big game for the Sixers to want to show up on big-time TV. And I believe they will. I think we'll play a good game against the Trailblazers. We would come in at 15-18. They're currently 17-16, but I think they have a game, if I'm not mistaken, today. They do not. Okay, so the Trailblazers and Sixers next game is against each other. So that'll be their records going in. Look for Redick to have another good game because I think he's going to get hot again. Covington will rebound from his bad game. Embiid should be able to go with how much rest we have. And he will obviously have a good game. He always does. And then look for Simmons to really come out on fire because he does not like having 2 okay games back-to-back. Well, the Sixers had a great game on Christmas. They started out the Christmas holiday for Philadelphia fans. Very good. Then the Eagles capped it off by clinching the number 1 seed in a very defensive game. And let's go Sixers. Let's go Philadelphia sports. This has been a reaction to the Sixers and Knicks game. It was a great game yesterday in the historic Madison Square Garden on Christmas Day. Have a good day, everyone. Hope you had a great holiday. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. Peace.